welcome to another episode of Now About That with James and Sarah. I'm James.
And I'm Sarah.
And on this week's episode, I thought we could talk a little bit about some hot takes.
Oh, yeah.
So I looked up it's just a blog post it's called Poly AI, which is the AI thing that it's used a lot of places, but they use it on Teams when you you have a Teams training or not training, a Teams meeting. You can add Poly and ask questions and stuff. So there's a blog post about hot takes. So I figured we could take a look at it and see what some of our hot takes are. But before we do that, how are things going, Sarah?
Dear listeners, that was the sound of me dying. It is day 6 of 7 in a row. And I am exhausted. Mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically. And yeah. So this week was the week that my manager left. It was her last day on Wednesday. I've been in charge for 2 whole days, and I don't like it.
It can't be that bad.
I'm exhausted. It's probably not bad, really, and it's probably just that I am feeling overwhelmed about it. And I'm trying to figure out how to negotiate with myself on that. Have a little faith in yourself, maybe just a smidge. But yeah, so that's just kind of where I'm at right this minute. How about you? How was your week?
It was good. It was long. It was a lot of meetings for some reason. It seemed like everybody had just come back from vacation or time off because of the new year.
Mm-hmm.
So they all had something that they needed. And it was they said, well, we don't want to meet about this until the new year. And then everybody was like, oh, let's go the second week after the new year and just do meetings all week. Because it was literally I think there was Monday and Tuesday, I didn't have very many meetings, but Wednesday and Thursday, it was 6 meetings at minimum, which is fine. But it's just it's so crazy. And then this weekend Sunday is Ryan's birthday.
Yes, it is.
So on Sunday, we're going to a place called Massimo in Providence. And then I booked a class for the coffee place that we get. It's called New Harvest in Providence. Mm-hmm. So it's a local coffee roaster, and they source the beans and then roast them in Providence. And they have these classes that you can take to learn more about coffee, how to make coffee and all that. And there's this one that's bean to cup or something like that. It's not exactly what it's called, but it's basically telling you the information about the beans that you're using. And you go through the class and you get a bag of coffee beans.
Nice.
So that'll be fun. So we're doing that on Sunday. So I actually have something to do on Sunday.
I'm so excited.
We typically don't plan anything out, but I was like, ooh, let me look at it and see what they have. So that'll be fun. Hopefully. We'll see. I think it'll be
Fingers
fun.
Crossed. I think it sounds hella fun. So
we both really love coffee. And we've talked about it on here before, I like coffee for the taste of coffee. Not so much needed for caffeine. Because coffee, I've had coffee since I was 6, so the caffeine in it doesn't really do much. It doesn't keep me up or anything like that. So I was having a cup at 3 p.m. the other day, and this guy at work was like, "Is that full coffee, or do you do decaf?" I was like, "No, who does decaf?"
Right. I also love the taste of coffee. I love coffee. I also enjoy the caffeine. I was very, very sad when I had long COVID and was not able to drink coffee because the caffeine would make my heart race
Yeah.
uncontrollably. Um,
How is that going? Are you feeling better now? I guess that
yeah,
end of sentence. I don't know where that came from.
yeah, I feel pretty much back to my old self now. Every yes.
Well, I was going to say, I'm wondering if it was, and I think we talked about it before, if it was more, maybe it wasn't so much long COVID, or it was a combination of long COVID and the fact that you had cancer.
Yeah, probably.
And it was like cancer was exacerbating the long COVID symptoms, and
Hmm.
they actually weren't as bad, or wouldn't have been as bad, or it wouldn't have persisted as long if you didn't also have cancer.
Right. Which is a possibility because we
Yeah.
don't know how long I had cancer.
Yeah.
So,
Well, you want to
um,
jump in? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
no, I think we're good. I think we're good. I think we
Okay.
can jump in.
All right, so you're gonna jump into some of these hot takes. I do have one of my own personal hot takes that I don't think is on here. I don't know. I haven't seen it. But my own personal hot take is I don't understand why gold is as popular as it is when silver or platinum is a much better option.
I agree with that hot take, actually.
Because it's like everybody there, whenever you look at like house decor and stuff like that, there's always like gold or bronze, and it's like, why would you use gold or bronze when you could use silver or like a platinum, not like like a silver or grayish color? It's much more a cool, I guess I prefer the cool tones than like those bright yellow gold earth tones. My
I
own hot
mean,
take.
fair, reasonable. I am more of I don't like the actual like jewelry, gold jewelry that
Yeah.
much. I am not a sun metal person. I am very much a moon metal person. So I tend to lean towards silver or platinum. Um, but I don't understand the appeal of gold, but I understand that it also looks better on other people than some silver and platinum and whatnot. Really
Mhm.
depends on your undertones.
Oh, also, before we jump into this, I've been getting like so much crap on TikTok because I responded to something, and it was like a post somebody did, and it was one of those slides where you like you flip through,
Hmm.
and it was like weird maps of the United States, and one of them was like the most popular coffee in each state.
Hmm.
And I just commented, oh, like most of the United States, the most popular is Starbucks. Almost every, like most Midwest and eat West Coast states, it's Starbucks is like the most popular. And when I say most popular, I want to say it's probably they have the most amount of stores open in the state, more
Hmm.
than likely. So it was like Starbucks, Dunkin'. There was one, I don't remember what the other one was. Maybe Dutch Bros or something like that. That was like
I
in the north.
love Dutch Bros.
It was in like the northwest, kind of. But anyways, I commented. I can attest to how accurate the coffee one is because I am originally from Indiana, lived in California for 2 years, and now live on the East Coast in the Northeast. And it's so hard to find a Starbucks around here. And then people are just commenting like crazy, like, oh, you go to Starbucks, so you support the killing of children and you support Hamas, or not Hamas, you support Israel. And I'm like, no, 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 I don't. I just get coffee from there.
Right. Well, so currently, people who are protesting the war in Gaza, Gaza has asked specific companies to be boycotted against. So that would include Starbucks, McDonald's, I think Walmart, because all of their CEOs, the money that they make off of us buying coffee or buying, burgers or whatever, the money that they make goes to fund Israel and in their genocide against the Palestinians.
Okay, so say that. Don't say if you go to Starbucks, you support the killing of children. That's not even close to what is happening, because I didn't know that was a thing, and I don't pay that close attention to it because it's not in my everyday life. So don't respond to me saying, oh yeah. And it wasn't even saying that I prefer Starbucks over anything else. It's just, I was like, that is most accurate in California or in Indiana. Mm-hmm. And I did respond to one of them. Somebody even posted, I don't go to those. I would just go to a local. And I responded to that one. Like, that's the only one that I actually responded to. I just go to a local brewer or a local coffee company. And I was like, oh no, I agree. But when I'm like traveling and on the go, Starbucks or Dunkin' are the only ones that have a drive-through, so I can like pop in and pop out. And then everybody's like, oh, so you like convenience over the lives of children. I'm like, calm down.
Right. Like, I understand where you're coming from.
No, Sarah. No. It's not that big of an issue. I understand the idea of standing with the group and holding companies accountable for making their decisions. But this isn't that big of a thing where if I don't go, and I don't go there very often, if I don't go, it's not going to make that big of a difference because of the amount of times I go there. It's like maybe twice a week. My $6 coffee isn't going to make that big of a difference.
It's more of, so I actually am partaking in the protest. I haven't had Starbucks since everything started happening.
Okay, and that's nice, but my thing is, you can't make people feel bad who are still going to those places. When one they don't even know about it, and then two, it's not even like, I don't know. I don't want to say it's not a big deal, because it is a big deal, but
perhaps take a moment.
it pisses me off.
Breathe. The reason for it, I understand what you're saying, but I also believe that it is important because your $6 does matter, and it does go towards the funding of these things that are happening. It's one of the only situations where you actually have a say in something. So Starbucks is controlled by money, and if the money leaves, then they're going to make different decisions. You know what I'm saying? So like, it's not like how I can't control where my taxes go, unfortunately, because my taxes also go towards funding Israel. However, I have no control over my taxes. I have control over where the rest of my money goes. So not supporting is extremely important regardless. I'm not saying that people should come at you and be like, oh, you support the murder of children, because obviously that's not helpful at all. But It is important. Your money does contribute, and it is important to take a look at the different things. Like, obviously you can't boycott the entire world, because there is no ethical consumption under capitalism. There isn't. There just isn't. But that's a conversation for a different day. But it is important to make bigger decisions, and like skipping Starbucks and going to a different company is easier in the long run and does impact them. And they actually have been getting impacted. Starbucks, their numbers dipped because people stuck with the boycott.
See, and my main thing is like, I don't have the time or the patience to look at every company and see where their money goes. Like, I have no ability to do that. And until someone like comes through and says like how you're saying it, here's why people are asking for this, instead of saying, oh, you go there so you support the murder of children. I didn't even say that I went there anytime recently. Right. I just said in the statement that I have gone there, and that's where I prefer to go if I am on traveling. And it's just like, like, calm down. I get it that there's a big issue, and I don't pay that much attention because
you have privilege.
Because I have privilege, and there's so many other things that I have going on in my own personal life that I need to pay closer attention to, that are more important to me right now. I agree that understanding what's going on in the world is important, but I can't know everything, and I can't know what companies are spending their money on. And I guess it is kind of like whenever we say, well, don't go to Chick-fil-A because they spend their money on anti-LGBTQ plus things. Though that's like well known, like really well known. This small type of not small. This I'm gonna get canceled, Sarah. Get canceled. This issue is more recent and less known about than something like the LGBTQ group that I know. For me,
that's because it impacts you, and so you
I
care.
I also just don't like Chick-fil-A. It's disgusting, but that's a different conversation.
But that's a different conversation.
That could be
the hot take.
back to Jesus Christ. Back to our actual topic of today, hot takes. I don't like Chick-fil-A because I think their chicken is subpar and disgusting.
I don't like Chick-fil-A because I think it's funeral food.
And Sarah always thinks of dead people when she
I always think of dead people. I only want Chick-fil-A if somebody's died. Like somebody that I know, obviously, because like random people dying does nothing for me. But
so you don't care about
wow.
I'm just kidding. Moving on. So in this article, or this blog, it's actually a blog. There's a few of them, and it's called 36 Hot Take Questions to Spark a Friendly Debate. They're not really actually questions, so I don't know why it says that.
They're not. They're statements.
So there's different categories. So there's animals, brands, entertainment, fashion, food, and travel. So the first one for animals, and it says sloths aren't as cute in real life. Probably not.
I mean, yeah, I could understand that, but I think I've seen sloths in real life at the zoo.
No, I don't know that I have.
I think I found them just as cute, to be honest.
It could mean like close up, and because they smell really bad or something.
Yeah, I've heard that they stink.
They have a dank odor.
Dank. All right. Well, we all know the opinions of both of us on this second one. Cats make better companions than dogs.
I think it depends on what you want in a companion. So this could be a correct answer if you like something that doesn't really interact with you all that much and isn't very high maintenance. But then again, there are some dogs that don't interact with you very much and aren't very high maintenance. So it depends on the type of person. So it could be true to some people.
It could be true to some people.
It is not true to me.
Right.
I don't hate cats. So I don't hate cats. I just I personally would never have a cat because I don't want one.
And that's super fair.
Yeah.
That's super fair. At least you're not like our one teacher who
Oh, yeah.
would give extra credit for killing cats. Ugh.
Yeah. Well, did he give extra credit for killing a cat or for showing like a picture of a dead cat?
Providing proof.
Which
that
is
you-
weird.
Like
Also,
either way, weird. But like,
that's like serial killer tendencies talk.
yeah. So
The next one is categorically false. Small
Yeah.
animals are great pets for small children.
yeah, that is. I don't know whose hot take that was, but they're crazy.
They're idiots
Like,
because children are garbage anyways.
hey, that's
Especially when you-
not it.
Especially when you get them around animals and they don't understand, oh, I can't smack this dog in the face 1,500 times and it not get annoyed. I said they don't understand.
That's true. That is better. That is better than what you usually go with.
They are stupid.
Well, yeah, because they don't know anything yet. They're working on it.
And they're-
Okay, I actually agree with number 4.
Oh, you're also wrong. I guess you can't be wrong if it's your opinion. In my opinion, you're wrong.
You can be wrong. Like you can have a quote unquote opinion and be wrong. That opinion be wrong. People don't understand what opinions are nowadays. Because people think that an opinion is whether or not people can have rights, where actually opinions are whether or not pineapple goes on pizza, or if coffee's better than tea, like what we're doing right now.
Well, those are preferences, not opinions.
They're opinions.
I know, but it's more of a preferential opinion than like a factual opinion, or I don't know. Moving on. I think pugs. They are ugly, but they're ugly in an adorable way, kind of like children.
I don't agree.
Except children are just ugly.
I don't think children are ugly, and I think pugs are ugly.
Most of us would have a pet tiger if we could. I don't see that that's a hot take.
I also don't see that that's a hot take.
Should we have pet tigers? Absolutely not.
Probably not.
Not even if you lived in like where tigers are. What's the word I'm looking for, Sarah?
In their natural habitat.
Yes, indigenous. Is that the word I'm looking for? That's not the word I'm looking for.
Are indigenous to the area.
Yeah, but that's not the word I'm looking for. But anyways, where they belong, where they should be. Like if you lived in an area, you shouldn't have a pet tiger. Maybe you could care for a tiger, but not like keep it in your house or keep it segregated to one area.
Right. Now, in a magical world where it was plausible for me to have a tiger, I would absolutely have a tiger.
And ethical.
Yes. Like if it was an ethical, plausible world,
Yeah.
I would absolutely own a tiger. Of course I would. I love tigers. They're great. They're huge. What? They're beautiful.
I would cohabitate with I don't think I own anything.
Oh my God. All right.
Moving on. Next. This is the controversial episode. Jesus.
You're really trying. Okay. All right. What about the next one, James? What about the next one?
I just did the tiger.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. You did.
No, I didn't. I just said the tiger one. Moving on. I don't I don't know that I disagree with this one.
Spiders get a bad reputation.
I don't like spiders, but they're useful for some things. It's
Yeah.
not like a wasp. Wasps can eat garbage.
Oh yeah, no, I agree. Fuck
Like there's
wasps.
no use for wasps. So that one was spiders get a bad reputation. I disagree. Or I sort of agree. And the next one is brand hot takes. And again, this is more of a preference as well. The first one is Samsung is better than Apple. I think in some ways the statement is correct. Samsung is better than Apple in certain instances. Apple is also better than Samsung in certain instances.
I have a Samsung. No, I don't. I don't have a Samsung
No, you
right now.
don't. You
I
have
have
a
a Google
Google.
phone. I
You
can't
have an-
relate.
I think it should be Android is better than Apple, maybe, instead of Samsung, is what the most argument is.
Like I like my Android. I've always had a preference for Android.
I don't have a preference either way. I am in the Apple ecosystem. That's not the word I'm looking for. Is it? Yeah, it is. Like I have Apple, I have an iPhone, I have a MacBook, I have AirPods, I have an Apple Watch. I had at one point an iPad. I don't anymore. I got rid of it. So I have a lot of Apple items. If there was kind of the same thing with an Android or Samsung, where I mean, I know Samsung has like earbuds and the watch and all that. But if there was a way for me to like seamlessly send a text message from any of my products with a Samsung, I would. But like, I can't send a text message from I guess you could, but you have to go on like the internet, like on a web platform. In a MacBook, it's built the messaging app is built into. It's the same. Like you can send a text message to anyone.
Right.
So that in that side, I like Apple because it's just so easy to utilize the products across all of their ecosystem.
That makes sense. Nike's see, I don't pay attention to brands that much.
Yeah, this one's not that big of a. It doesn't make. I don't care.
Like, I think we can skip down. TBH.
Apple. Oh, sorry. Do you want to do it?
Oh, I was just gonna skip down to like,
Entertainment.
yeah,
Okay.
because like, I don't give two fucks about any of those brands.
Well, we can disagree with the first one on entertainment, obviously.
It says podcasts aren't worth listening to.
I don't
What?
think that's true, especially if you listen to it now about that with James and Sarah every Monday released at 5 a.m. You don't have to listen to it at 5 a.m., but it's every Monday at 5 a.m. It is out. Unless we take a break,
Unless we're taking a break every
which really only happens twice a year. We take a short break twice a year.
yeah, roundabouts, yeah. That seems to be it so far.
I also think they're good to like if you like when I'm driving, I like to listen to podcasts because it's entertaining. And I sometimes learn some new things. So they're good to listen to.
I wish that I could get more into certain podcasts. I have a problem of especially the older I get, I've noticed this and I've really started trying to push back against it, but the older I get, the less I want to try listening to new people, if that makes sense. I just stick with the people that I already listen to. So like I listen to the Mr. Ballin podcast. I listen to That Chapter podcast. I obviously occasionally listen to our own podcast.
She never listens to our podcast. Don't let her lie to you.
That is not true. I do listen to our podcast. The problem is is that I tend to zone out as well.
Yeah.
And then I've missed everything.
See, that's my thing with audiobooks.
Yeah,
Everybody's
that's my
like,
problem with audiobooks.
everybody's like, oh, you should listen to audiobooks. You should listen. I'm like, that's nice, but if I am not paying attention, I will be like 300 pages in and not realize what happened.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
my brain turns off and I can't consume the information that's coming through. It gets just white noise at that point.
Yeah. Sometimes I'm just too overstimulated in that moment to focus. So I need something that's going to be background noise and not something I have to actually pay attention to. So that does make listening to podcasts kind of difficult. Listening to audiobooks nigh impossible, because at least with a podcast, like with ours, sometimes we just kind of meander all over the place. And, at any given moment, somebody could catch right back up with the conversation because we've already moved to something else. Books don't work like that. If you miss a huge section, it's important to know what you missed in that section to understand what's happening at that moment.
Yeah.
You don't have to do that with a podcast. Well, like ours.
And then the next one is Harry Styles is the best performer in current times. I can't say that that's true or false. I don't pay attention to Harry Styles that much.
I also don't pay attention to, I like some of his music, but as far as performances go, I have opinions on performers.
I don't. I'm not a huge fan of watching performances, because I prefer and I think I've said this before on here. I prefer the studio version of the song more times than not over the live version of a song.
Right.
I think it's mainly for the same reason you were just saying about not wanting to listen to new people.
Mm-hmm.
I am comfortable with the song in the studio version because I also sing along to it and know the notes and when it's going to go up, and it's predictable and I'm comfortable with it. Whereas when there's a person singing live, they can riff and do their own thing and change the song a little bit. And then I'm like, oh, well, now I look like a dumbass because I'm singing. I held the note longer than they did in the live version. So mine's mine's because I'm personally excited and singing along with them, which you shouldn't do it. I would say I went to see that's another reason I don't like to go to concerts, because I don't like to hear other people sing when I'm trying to hear the singer sing, the performer sing. But that's why.
I like live music. I like live performances. But again, it's very specific people that I will go see, It's not like I'm going to concerts all the time. Not that I wouldn't if somebody wanted to pay for me to. But anyway, that's beside the point. And I would say that I've never seen Harry Styles perform, but in my opinion, the best performer in current times is actually not a pop star, but is Tom Holland. And the reason I think he's the best performer is because of his version of Rihanna's Umbrella lip sync that he did. So if y'all have not seen it, it's amazing.
5 years ago?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't think it was 5 years ago, though. Was it?
It wasn't that recent.
I feel like it was more recent than that. Hold on. Tom Holland lip sync battle.
It was pre-COVID.
Huh. I guess it was 6 years ago.
I'm gonna say I didn't think it was that recent.
I thought it was recent.
Anyways, moving on.
All right. Let's see. The Oscars are boring. Well,
Probably.
probably. I don't watch them.
I don't either. Also, have you heard all the mess going on about the Golden Globes that just was it Golden Globes? Grammys? No, Golden Globes.
No, the Golden Globes. I heard like a little bit of it about the sexist joke.
Yeah.
Heard a little bit about it, but I only just heard a little bit about it this morning.
Really?
Yeah, it popped up on my TikTok. Apparently, like, whatever it was that this dumbass man said, he was just proving the point.
Yeah. And it was Joe
Oh.
Coy, and I'm not a huge fan of Joe Coy. He was actually he's not as bad. I don't think he's like a person. As a person, he's not as bad as his jokes were making him out to be. Because if he was, then Chelsea Handler would never have dated him.
Or she could have just been stupid. And
No.
Chelsea Handler does have a lot of misogynistic jokes that she made, and jokes that are not great that she's made. So,
In the past, but I think she's learned.
and that's great. But I'm just saying, she probably could have dated somebody like that.
Oh
at that
no,
time.
this was recently, like within the last few years.
Okay, because I was gonna be like,
No, yeah, like this was recent. Moving on.
a lot of moving on in this episode. We've only been recording for half an hour.
I know. Moving on. Game of Thrones was overrated. I honestly don't have an opinion on this one or the next couple because I don't pay attention. I don't think I watched any Game of Thrones at all.
I watched the first season,
Hmm.
and I read like the first 4 chapters of the book.
I didn't even know it was a book.
It's a whole series, a whole book series. Honestly, a lot of these I don't have an opinion on,
Yeah.
like one way or another. Because like I love pineapple on pizza, but I wouldn't say pineapple's the best pizza topping.
Oh, no. I
What?
wouldn't either. I love pineapple
Oh.
on pizza, but I
Yeah.
wouldn't say it's the best
I wouldn't
pizza
say it was
topping.
the best topping.
To me, the best topping is cheese.
I mean, same. So
Like, what? You can't have a pizza without cheese.
like pizza, it's like cheese is integral to making pizza. So like obviously cheese is the best ingredient. I would probably agree that Pop-Tarts are pretty overrated. I still enjoy them,
No.
but like they're pretty overrated. They're not that great, but I
Toaster
enjoy
strudel is so much better.
Toaster strudel is absolutely so much better. But Pop-Tarts tend to be cheaper.
Yeah.
So, deep dish pizza is great. I would say I don't have an opinion on whether or not it's the best pizza. I guess it depends on which kind of deep dish pizza we're talking about,
It's like, am I in the mood for a deep dish pizza?
right?
Or
Am
do
I in
I
the
want a nice thin, like a thin crust that I can snap?
Yeah. I'm like, and then of course, anytime that I ask myself, do I want a deep dish pizza? I ask myself whether or not I'm anywhere near Chicago. And if the answer is no, then I usually say no. Because I really like deep dish pizza from Chicago.
That is the weirdest statement I think you've said in this entire episode, because you currently reside in Texas.
Correct. I haven't eaten deep dish pizza since I left.
And And even in Indiana, it's not like you can just hop in the car and go get some Chicago's pizza. You have to drive a minimum of where we lived 3 to 4 hours.
Correct. So I'm telling you, I
Strangest
don't get
statement you've said.
pizza often. That's what I'm saying.
Weirdest statement you've said this entire episode. Moving on. Moving on. Everyone should go on a cruise vacation at least once. I don't agree. There are some people that shouldn't go on cruises, and some people like me don't want to, because I don't want to be stuck on a boat with people, especially not that many people, for like 2, 3, 4 days.
Yeah,
Someone would
that's
be
fair.
thrown overboard, if not multiple someones, and children.
I want to go on a cruise. I think that would be cool. I think it would be really weird. I think it would be disconcerting to me to be like in the middle of the ocean, you know?
Yeah. I would like to do one of those like Viking cruise ship things where it's like it's not in the ocean, it's on a river, and it's like one of those really long boats, and there's only like 1 or 2 levels that are for like the actual sleeping area, and your bed is in a room where there's a window, and then you can look out into the water.
Okay. All
Like
right.
that would be something, yeah, I think would be cool, because it's like most of those are like 2 days and you're just going down the river.
Right.
Most cruises are, I don't know of a cruise that's less than 3 days.
I don't think I do either. American road trips are not overrated.
That's not what the hot take says, Sarah.
I know. It says American road trips are overrated. And I'm saying that they're not. They're not overrated. I personally have gone on numerous American road trips. Some of them with you, a lot of them with you.
Yeah.
And I think they're amazing and wonderful, and I've enjoyed every single one.
How many road trips have we taken? So I drove to Oklahoma to bring you back to Indiana to save you from your psychopaths. We've gone to the north or the east coast several times. How many times have we gone? 3?
We went first in 2010 because we were going to go to that Stephen Colbert event. Return to Sanity.
I think you're thinking of someone else. That was not me.
No, that was absolutely you. That was you, me, and Sam. That was the whole reason that we were going. We were going for a rally.
Where?
In DC.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, it was the first time that we went.
Did we not go?
No, we ended up missing the rally because Sam ended up getting sick.
Oh, okay.
You still don't remember.
No, I don't. I remember that. I remember that when we went to DC and she got sick. But I don't remember there being a rally that we were planning on going to.
Yes. So that was the first time that we went to DC. And then we went again when Sam moved out there. Because didn't we help her take her stuff out there?
I think so.
First time?
I know we helped her move back.
That's right. We helped her move back. But we also went that one time when we went to DC. That was 2013.
You mean New York?
That's what I meant, was New York.
Yeah.
When we took the train to New York. That was 2013.
So 3 or 4 times. I think it was 4 actually, because I think there's one in there when we helped her move back. That was not when we went to New York.
Yeah, and I think there was another time that we went just for shits and giggles.
Yeah. So a couple times. I don't think we ever went like west with each other, other than me coming to save you from
Oklahoma. you know.
Also, there's one further up that I totally agree with, or that I disagree with wholeheartedly. Crocs are a must-have footwear item. I disagree. I think Crocs should be burned.
I don't care.
They're hideous.
They're not my cuppa, but I don't care anymore. Like, it just doesn't. People are gonna wear what they're gonna wear, and I personally wouldn't wear that, but if it makes them happy, it makes them happy. What's this? The next one
What?
after the American road trips.
There are way more romantic cities than Paris.
Mm-hmm. What are your opinions?
I don't know because I've never been to Paris, so I couldn't say. And I don't really I don't rank cities on how romantic I think they are.
I mean, that's fair. Where was the last place that you went someplace romantic?
I don't go romantic places because I don't think about things as romantic. No. A romance to me is gross and boring.
I don't understand.
I don't see the point in romance. Like, I don't know.
You don't want somebody to like woo you or anything like that?
No.
Like, take you someplace fancy and treat you nice?
No. I want to be treated like garbage and thrown to the floor. Wait, no. I mean, the last one, maybe. I don't know. I don't think of it like that because I'm usually the person that's doing that. And it's always really, I get very uncomfortable when people do nice things for me.
I know.
I don't like it.
I'm aware.
I'm the one that should be doing the nice things. Let me do the nice things.
You know that you also deserve nice things, right?
I know, and I get them for myself.
Okay. All right. Okay.
I like to get myself nice things and other people. Ooh, we were watching Soap Dish the other day, and Ryan was like, oh, I want to watch it. Can you look and see if it's on this platform? And it wasn't. So we had to go to another one. And I was like, don't we own it? And he goes, no, I used to, or I did. And then I gave it away. And I was like, okay. So I looked up and I bought it for him for his birthday.
Aww.
See, those are the things I like to do. I don't like when people do that for me. It's awkward and weird.
So you don't like evidence that somebody thought of you.
When you put it that way, it seems really bad, Sarah.
Because it is really bad.
I don't like this narrative that you're painting of me, Sarah.
You know that this is because you had a traumatic childhood, right?
I didn't have a traumatic childhood. My parents were garbage. That's
how you get traumatic childhoods, James.
I can't say that for sure. My parents had other priorities my mother had other priorities that weren't their children.
Yes.
And my father was just getting along.
Yeah.
Moving on. The pyramids aren't as great as they look in photos. I don't know. I wouldn't know the answer to that.
Never seen the Great Pyramids. I think that could be a very privileged take.
I guess, how do you qualify the term great?
Right.
Like, what does great mean to you? Because if like shrouded in history or historically relevant, important, then I think the answer is they are great.
Yeah.
But if it's just like they're just a pile of stone, If you look at it like that, then yeah. But if you
Yeah.
look at it like, oh, these are giant, massive stones that people decades ago were moving without the technology that we have today, and carving out and making these massive structures without the technology that we have today, and
Mhm.
hundreds, if not thousands, of people died in the making of them.
Mhm.
And that's what they are, and how amazing they are that they're still there, then they are great. So it depends on what your definition of great is. Maybe that hot take is correct, maybe it's not.
Your definition of great also comes with, and my train just flew off the tracks. Never mind. I had an opinion that I was going to express about this, but I don't. So seeing the world should be on everyone's bucket list.
I don't know that that's a hot take.
I don't think that that's a hot take, personally speaking. I think it's very important to travel. I think travel gives you an opportunity to learn more about yourself as well as your fellow human beings. It gives you an opportunity to have new experiences, breathe, new passion into your life. Travel is supremely important.
It gives you an understanding that you wouldn't have if you stayed at the same place.
Exactly.
And then the last one is you should learn the language before you travel. I think it will set you up for more success if you learn the language before you travel, especially if you're going to be there for an extended period of time. If you're just going to visit, it's like do your best to understand some of like the main things that you're going to need to know.
Yeah. I just think it's a courtesy to be able to speak some basics.
Yeah.
When you're traveling.
Like what are some basic phrases? Like where's the bathroom? Can I have the check?
Can I have the check?
Where's the closest hospital?
Yes. Where's the closest hospital? Probably another good one would be
get that baby away
English?
from me. Wrangle your children.
I don't think wrangle your children is an important phrase that everybody should know.
Where's the dog?
Where's the dog? Do you have a dog?
¿Dónde espero?
¿Dónde espero? Oh my god. Oh my god. No, I think it's important to know like a few basic phrases. One in particular would be how to introduce yourself.
Yeah.
So if for some reason you're in an accident or something like that and somebody asks you what your name is, you can answer.
Yeah.
I think it's important to be able to know where's the bathroom, obviously. Can I have the check, please, if you're at a restaurant? But another one that is also important is if you're traveling to another country, knowing how to ask if they speak your language or English.
Yeah.
Because if they don't speak your language, they might speak English.
That's true. I was not baffled. It was interesting to see on TikTok. There are those videos that they have where it's like facts that you didn't know were true. Or no, it was like it asks a question and wants you to answer the question. And one of them was, what is the national language of the United States? And the answer is the United States doesn't have a national language. But everybody was like, oh no, I thought it was English. It's English. It has to be English. It's like, no, it's not.
No,
there is no established national language. The most spoken language in the United States is probably English, yes, but that doesn't make it the national language. I think the national language for Canada is French. I could be wrong. Do they have a national language?
Does Canada have a national language?
English or French? Official language. Sarah, you keep pausing. I think you're breaking up. We're breaking up, Sarah. I think we've lost her, everyone.
Are you there?
She's back.
Okay. Yeah, we're under a wind advisory still. So it's messing with my stuff out here.
Well, do you have anything else you want to talk about? Are you doing anything fun this weekend? I already talked about my weekend plans.
Oh yeah, you did already talk about your weekend plans. Do I have anything going on this weekend? Yes, actually, Horace and I are gonna go have brunch on Sunday. Working. And we'll be working for the foreseeable future.
Are you hanging out with your friend Gemini? I almost said Amethyst again.
It's funny that you mentioned I hung out with her earlier today. So
can I call her Amethyst? Can you ask her?
Yes, I will ask her if you can call her Amethyst.
I think that's a fun name. I like Gemini too. I just can't remember it. I don't know why I can remember Amethyst over Gemini. I think when you talk about her, the aura you give off is Amethyst. Maybe. That's what we'll go with. We'll go with that.
That's fair. That's
what we'll go with.
Yeah. I buy it. So, nothing very exciting. I have to reprimand somebody.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Can you TikTok it? Can you record it and I can watch it later?
No.
Like, just put your phone up and be like, don't pay attention to the phone. There's nothing going on here. Can I be on the phone with you when you do it? Call me and put me on speakerphone.
Yeah, put you on your phone.
Like, hold on, I have a phone call to make really quickly. Okay, now getting on to this. You shouldn't have touched that man in the hole like that.
Oh my God, it wasn't that. That would have been an immediate dismissal.
Your body odor is dank.
No.
Why am I using that word?
I don't know.
What does that word even mean?
Dank?
Yeah.
Well, I know that it has to do with weed.
Disagreeably damp, musty, and typically cold.
Yeah. The current dank is slang for excellent weed.
Yeah, describing something as excellent, especially marijuana. Dank can also refer to memes that are played played out or extremely weird.
Yeah.
But what I am talking about is this musty and typically musty, like damp, musty thing. I don't know. It's a weird reference. Moving on. Oh, I have decided at work that 2024 for our corporate work like functions, the theme for 2024 is communication.
Nice.
And I've said it multiple times in several meetings this week.
Communication, important.
Yeah. Well, enjoy your lunch. Food with
brunch with Horace.
Brunch. I couldn't remember if you said lunch or brunch. Brunch with Horace.
We're having brunch.
And have fun at work. I'm going to maybe watch some YouTube. I'm going to look into maybe buying a treadmill so that I have some some actual, so I move a little bit, maybe.
Oh my God. I just looked. Sorry, not to interrupt you, but I
Used
just
to it.
looked. Whatever. You're the one who's always interrupting me. Don't even. Anyway, we're supposed to get up to 1 inch of snow on Monday.
Oh, that'll be fun. So you'll be without electricity again.
Correct. Ugh. Ugh, me bollocks. All right. Whatever.
What? Well, would you like to call it a podcast?
Yeah, I think it's podcasty enough to be a podcast.
I think if you stick the fork in it, it's done.
Yeah. Yeah. I think
All right. Well, thank you for listening to this week's episode of Now About That with James and Sarah. If you like the episode, please give us a like, comment, and don't forget to follow or subscribe. And if you would, leave a review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen, as this will help get the podcast out to more people and help us grow. And feel free to follow us on our social medias. All of our handles everywhere are at Now About That Pod. So if you search for it and it's not there, we're not on that podcast or that platform. If there is a specific topic that you would like us to discuss on the podcast, feel free to email us at nowaboutthatpod@gmail.com or visit our website, www.nowabouttthatproductions.com. And you can also leave us a voicemail or send us a text with any questions that you would like to have us answer on the podcast. Our phone number is 765-557-4170. Thanks again for listening, and we hope you have a great week as this will be coming out. Wow. We hope you have a great week as this will be coming out on a Monday. And Sarah, enjoy your weekend. She was laughing the entire time I was saying that last part. Did you like how I threw that little, if you search for it and we're not there,
Yes,
we're not on that
I
platform. I do
Yes, I did.
ad-lib some of these because I have to keep people on their toes. If people are listening, then they need to realize we don't record this last part and I just plug it in. I say it every week.
Yep, you say it every week.
I also almost said my own phone number instead of the podcast phone number.
You know.
All right. Well, have a good weekend.
You too. Bye.
Bye.